Welcome, dear Sagittarius, to the moment your heart has always quietly leaned toward. You did not arrive here by accident. You came because a silent ceremony was already unfolding within your soul. From nameless nights, from the calls you once ignored, from that moment your heart skipped a beat, because of something unnamed yet deeply known. This is a place where light does not only shine, but whispers the truth into the ears of those brave enough to listen. I do not call you by name, I call you by frequency. And if you feel something gently touching a place inside you, that is your invitation. Take a deep breath with me. Inhale light, exhale what is old. Feel your chest open like a gateway, not to step out into the world, but to invite the true world to step into you. Because if you are Sagittarius, you already know this. You do not belong to anything confined. You are the wind. No one can hold you, but everyone can feel you. You are the seeker, not only of truth, but of the deepest meaning behind what seems meaningless. Not everyone understands you, and they don't have to. You were made to go beyond the common map, to walk roads with no names, to find yourself in deserts, in deep forests, or inside the very storms of your own heart. And today, something rare is happening. The energy of a rare stone, I will not name it here, but its frequency is surrounding you. A stone not born from the earth, but from a collision between heaven and humanity. A moment when the universe says, I am ready to give a piece of my own soul. And you are the one chosen to carry that frequency. You are not ordinary, not born to blend in, not created to merely survive, but to awaken the world by simply being fully alive. Maybe you felt alone. Maybe you've doubted your path. But that was only a whisper, asking you to look deeper into your essence. A soul that travels, but always returns carrying light. You hold a transforming energy so powerful that even your silent presence begins to shift those around you. You don't need to say much. You don't need to prove anything. Just keep walking the way you always have, with faith, quiet but unshakable. And if ever you've asked yourself, where am I going? Today, the answer arrives. You are walking toward yourself. Not the version everyone accepts, but the one you made a covenant with before you were even born. The one who lights the way with the fire of freedom. No one needs to save you, and you were not created to save anyone else. But by living true to your own flame, you become a lighthouse for those still drowning in the darkness they built for themselves. If you are hearing this and your heart is trembling, it's not from fear, but because a part of you recognizes this voice. It's not my voice, it's your own, the one you once forgot. Leave a comment. I am the one who brings the light back. And if this touches something inside you, share it. Not because I need it, but because someone out there is on a journey like yours, and your light may be the only thing they recognize in the middle of their night. Silence does not dull your light, Sagittarius. It makes it resound. Like a call not everyone is sensitive enough to hear. You are the messenger of what cannot be named. The breeze that passes through another's heart and leaves them wondering, why did I suddenly see myself? There are days when you feel like a traveler in a world that looks familiar, but still feels strange. Not because you are wrong, but because you were made to carve a path, not follow one. Because what you carry in your soul, not everyone is ready to face. Your energy is expansion. It is fire. It is sky. It is a truth that refuses to be chained. And sometimes, that very essence makes others uncomfortable, because you remind them of what they've forgotten. Truth, freedom, a higher purpose than petty egos. But I'm here to remind you, you did not come to dissolve. You came to ignite, not to repeat someone else's road, but to draw a new horizon line. There are dreams you've hidden away, afraid no one would understand, afraid they were too big, too different. But those very dreams are the missing pieces this world needs, and the time for them is now. The doors are opening, not doors of the past, but thresholds of a higher frequency where you are called to live your purpose, to inspire, not to be understood, but to awaken. You may feel a calling, an unexpected conversation, an innocent invitation that somehow holds transformative energy, a person, an opportunity, a glance that says, I'm ready now. And yes, not everyone is meant to walk with you. Not everyone is pure enough to touch your energy. There will be envious eyes, whispers that try to pull you into fear, women around you acting from their wounds instead of love. But no one can touch what has been divinely protected. No one. You do not need to explain your intuition. You do not need to apologize because your light shines brighter than they are willing to see. You do not need to shrink, just so others can feel more comfortable. And then, the divine will appear. A new stability, not arriving as a contract or a promise, but like the moment your feet touch the ground and you no longer hear the cracking of old waves beneath you. When each glance no longer seeks someone else to confirm who you are. Not just success, not just finances, not even companionship, but a peace that rises from within, when you no longer need to do anything to be acknowledged, because you have already recognized who you truly are. And love, it is also on its way. But not the kind that asks you to compromise yourself. It's a love that knows you need space to fly and still chooses to stay. A new person, arriving like an answer, not because you searched for them, but because you found yourself. And from here, a blooming begins. The old layers of roles, of identity, of outdated teachings are falling away. No more hiding. No more shrinking. You no longer ask, "Am I worthy?" You are now living the answer. I was born to live in the fullness of my light. It is time to sit with yourself, not to analyze, but to listen, to ask, what do I truly desire? What kind of world do I want to build? What fire is burning inside me, and am I ready to bring it forth? And when the answer comes, do not hesitate. Do not look back. Do not ask for permission. You do not need to be approved when the universe has already approved your existence long before you were born. Dream big, Sagittarius. Not because you need to prove anything to the world, but because your dreams are the maps the universe is waiting to follow. When you dream a real dream, the stars listen. And within that dream, another message arrives. It is time to close the chapter. Relationships that went too far past their ending. Places that once were home, but now feel like shelter without soul. Projects you tried to keep alive, that quietly drained your light. Stop clinging. Growth needs space. Freedom needs open sky for wings to spread. And the heart needs silence to hear the new calling. You owe no one an explanation. You owe yourself honesty. I feel this like a sacred drumbeat. Return to your body. You have lived in your mind for too long. You have chased logic for too long. Now is the time to come back to your skin, your breath, your movement. Your body is a temple and also a channel for the soul. Listen to it, love it, move, not to prove, but to be present. I also see a movement approaching. New souls are stepping into your life. Beings of your same tribe, they will recognize you instantly. No masks needed, no adjustments required. They love you for the freedom that you are. And among these connections, a spark of creation will be lit. If you write, if you sing, if you paint, or even if you simply carry a treasure of unspoken ideas inside you, then this is the moment to begin. The inspiration is pouring in. Do not censor. Do not delay. It will find its way to you if you open your heart. And I cannot leave this unsaid. I feel your blood is singing. Your ancestors, those who walked before you, are present all around you. They see you. They know who you are. You, Sagittarius, are the chosen one, to break the chains, to heal the memory, to release a current of energy that has been bound for generations. And though this journey is heavy, it is also a sacred honor. They surround you, they bless you, they whisper you are doing so well. The past no longer holds the answer. It is now just the lesson, the experience, the strength etched from the very trials you once had to walk through. Something is arriving. A flash of light, a new career, a project, a path unlike anything before. And it will ignite a fire that will never go out. Do not dismiss it. Do not think, maybe it's just a coincidence. There are no coincidences for one who carries the light. It is a calling, and that calling will lead to movement. It may be a relocation, a long journey, a beginning your soul has been quietly longing for. I also see a connection. Still unfinished, not because you haven't let go, but because it is still teaching you something. It might be a love, an emotion that doesn't belong to this present life, but arrived from another. It isn't meant for you to hold on to forever. It is meant to be honored and then released. The love you deserve will never make you feel less free. It is clear, it is consistent, it does not require effort because it is sent from above as a gift once you are brave enough to stop living in the past. You do not need to beg for anything, dear Sagittarius. You do not need to chase the light, because you are the light. And right now, the energy is revealing. You are ready to step into a greater role, the role of the inspirer, the pioneer, the guide. You are the embodiment of truth, a witness to the rare union of strength and gentleness. You are the one whose silent presence makes others begin to believe in themselves. There are souls admiring you quietly. They don't say it out loud, but they find strength in the way you live your truth. And now, as you read these words, a book is opening. Not a book written in human language, but a soul book. Each page is a whisper you've once heard in dreams. Each chapter is a truth your heart has always known, but needed to be called by name. You are reconnecting with your spirit. Maybe you felt lost. Maybe you no longer felt drawn to what once nourished you. Do not fear. This is not the end. It is the sign of expansion. You are changing frequency. You are not losing your light. You are moving deeper into the truer flame. Uncertainty is not your enemy. It is the cradle where your true self is being born. And as the old begins to crack, the structures, the habits, the beliefs you inherited but that no longer fit, you are being invited to create new rituals. Not complicated ones, just sacred. Right. Walk among trees, look up at the sky with the eyes of a soul newly awakened, and in that stillness you will hear, not just thoughts, but a deeper voice, the voice of your own soul. Try this. Write a letter of release. Address it to a person, to an old chapter, to a worn-out version of yourself. Write it with your whole heart. Then burn it, not as an ending, but as a message sent back to the universe saying, I am ready to step through a new threshold. Even if a part of you still clings, don't be afraid, because what's coming is far greater than what you're letting go of. You are also receiving messages in your dreams. Symbols, faces, emotions that repeat. Do not dismiss them. Write them down. Even if they come as fragments, they are the map of your soul. They do not arrive to confuse you, but to return you to your true path. You are not just changing, you are ascending. And when someone ascends, everything that no longer vibrates at your frequency will naturally fall away. Not because it's wrong, but because you've risen beyond the old resonance. New souls will enter your life. Gently, but deeply. You will not need to explain yourself. They will understand. They will arrive as mirrors, as confirmations that you have grown so much, you now see yourself in others. And on a deeper level, I sense a question still lingering, an emotional story that hasn't yet closed. You don't have to return to it, but you do need to understand why it ever happened. You need to know. Love doesn't always stay, but it always leaves a lesson. This time, the lesson is, you no longer want a love that requires you to compromise. You don't need a half. You need a companion, free yet devoted. Someone who loves you without ever asking you to shrink yourself. And you know that's true, because you no longer negotiate for peace. You are peace. And finally, I see there is a gift, a talent, an expression within you that you've still been hiding. You think, I'm not good enough yet. Who would even listen to me? But your spirit guides are speaking clearly. The world needs your voice. Whether it's 10 or 10,000 people, it doesn't matter. What matters is this, that you dare to show up. Unhidden, unafraid. Your story has value. Your path has meaning. Your scars are a language other hearts are waiting to be healed by. You were not born to be perfect. You were born to be real, to live in full presence, with your wounds and your light, with your hesitation and your holy urgency. And that is enough. I want you to carry this with you. Today you are not alone. You are not lost. You have not failed. You are awakening. You are remembering who you are, why you came here, and how much power is still sleeping within you, waiting to be awakened. I did not come to save you. I am simply a channel, like the bow in your hand as you aim your arrow toward the sky. From this place I hold you with my soul, and I whisper, trust. The best is yet to come, and it is already on its way, with power, with light, with divine purpose. Because you are Sagittarius, you were not born to stand still. You did not come to follow someone else's map. You came to expand the map of your own soul. And now I see it. A door is opening. a new journey with many turning points. You will stand before a choice between what's familiar and what's true, between comfort and freedom. And though what's right often comes with fear, it is the only thing that will ever truly fill your soul. Remember this, Sagittarius. Do not shrink so others can feel comfortable. Do not settle for scraps when you were born to receive the whole. Do not dim the fire within you, just because it burns brighter than the room you're standing in. They once called you too dreamy, too emotional, too trusting of the unseen. But what they didn't know is this. Those very traits are the blueprint the universe planted in your soul. Too emotional, too much. But that's not a burden. That's gold. That's a gateway. That's raw energy not everyone is brave enough to touch. Not everyone will understand you. But you're not here to be understood. You're here to move, to radiate, to live in truth, and awaken the truth in those still afraid of the light. I also see this. You are stepping into a new phase, a phase of mission. You may not see yourself as someone who inspires. You may not believe you are a guide, but you are doing exactly that, simply by living in alignment with yourself. Someone is watching you, learning from your honesty, carrying the words you once spoke, like medicine. One gesture from you has been a lighthouse for a soul that was tired and drifting, and you may never know that you saved them. It is time to leave your hiding place. It is time to speak, to share, to plant seeds. The world does not need more illusion. The world needs your truth. Because you see what others dare not look at. You feel what others have forgotten. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is a sacred compass. I know there are wounds still healing. Old scars from past lives, from family lines, from loves that left you cut. Ancient soul contracts are now dissolving, and you are at the exact moment to release them all. You do not need to fit in where you no longer belong. When you rise, souls vibrating at your level will arrive. You won't need to explain yourself. They will look into your eyes and say, I recognize you. These are meetings without words, soul to soul, soft but unbreakable. And finally, I see something very clearly. There's a part of you still holding on to something, a story, a relationship not fully closed, an old version of yourself still waiting for a farewell. Love once came, not to stay forever, but to teach you something deep. And this time, the lesson is, you no longer negotiate for peace. You no longer play halfway. You do not need a half. You need someone who sees all of you and still chooses to stay. Love is coming, not loud, not flashy, but like a melody you once wrote in your dreams, now sung back to you by the universe itself. And I feel one last truth. There is a gift inside you, a form of expression, a truth you have not yet dared to share. You think you're not ready. You think no one will listen. But the souls are waiting for your voice. Unfiltered, unapologetic, just real. Your scars are a map, and your story is a light for someone who's standing where you once stood. Sagittarius does not forgive easily, nor forget in haste. For you, healing is not closing the wound, but walking through it. Healing is when you can finally look at the wound and say, I no longer need you to protect me. I've learned what you came to teach. There is a person, a face, a shadow, a phrase from the past, whose energy still lingers in the spaces you walk through. Not because of love, but perhaps because of guilt, because of words unspoken, because of a sorrow still left hanging. And your spirit guides are whispering, it's time to close that circle. Not with resentment, but with awareness. With a letter, a silent goodbye, a phrase you once swallowed, because that energy is holding a place in your soul that was meant for something new. Listen to this, Sagittarius. You do not need an apology to let go. You do not need them to understand in order to be free. True freedom begins when you decide, I will no longer carry this. And I see a symbol rising clearly now. Water, a stream, a shoreline, a rainfall, a bowl of water where your hands rest. In any form, water is calling you. Not just to cleanse your skin, but to cleanse the silent rivers of memory running underneath. If you can, in the coming days, give yourself a moment of stillness by the water. Let it teach you what words cannot. There is also a door of opportunity opening, but it will ask you to leave your comfort zone. It will make you nervous and equally excited. That is the sign. That flutter in your belly is intuition in motion. It's your soul's bell ringing saying this is your direction. There is a decision you will have to make, one not just about action or work, but deeper. Do you trust your own power? Are you still waiting for the approval of someone who could never understand your vision in the first place? No, you are not here to repeat old cycles. You were born to break them. And even if at times you feel the weight is too much, remember this. This mission was not handed to you by accident. It came because your soul once said, "I'm ready," from a place before you even had a name. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Your lineage walks with you. Your guides keep the light around you. And I, with no name of my own, am only a channel. But from here, I invite you. Look into the mirror, in silence, as if the reflection before you is not just you, but your soul returning home. Whisper, "I'm home. I have returned to myself." Tonight, in stillness, without judgment, just look into your own eyes and whisper, "Thank you. Thank you for not giving up. Thank you for continuing. Thank you for being me." And now, dear Sagittarius, we have come to the close of a sacred passage. But no, this is not the end. Like every soul's journey, this is just a chapter in an endless unfolding of expansion. Not a goodbye, but a soft message. Keep going, keep trusting, keep living fully. Because the light within you was never a flicker. It is a star, and the night sky has been waiting for you to shine. Even this silence now is a ritual, a closure but not a conclusion. A circle sealed, not with a period but with radiant release. Because what just happened here was not just a moment. It was an awakening, a sacred reminder. An alchemical spell between dimensions, between the person you were and the soul you are becoming. Today, the universe has spoken, with clarity, with love, with a reason you cannot deny. And the message is, it is time to release the doubt, the masks, the wounds that made you hesitate. Not to forget, but to become. Not to lose, but to remember who you are. You are not another version of this world. You are the original expression of a consciousness that has traveled through time, just to arrive at this very moment where you dare to say, "I am here. I have returned. I am the light that never asked for permission to exist." Sagittarius, your soul is fire, but also sky. You are light, but have walked through darkness. You carry depth, but always reach for the heights. You are wisdom, you are feeling, you are a purpose that never bowed to fear, and you can no longer hide. The world needs you, as you truly are. The universe has prepared this moment for you, not just to survive, but to come alive, to love without limit, to create without constraint, to lead without needing a title. This moment is not an ending. It is a threshold, a renaissance within your spirit, with a clearer heart, a sharper vision, and a faith that cannot be extinguished. You are worthy of it all. Love, unconditional. Peace without negotiation. Abundance, not because you strive, but because you walk with the light. Freedom, without boundaries, without apology. And if these words made your heart tremble, brought you to tears, or made you feel seen, then I invite you, leave a message, share something, even a small punctuation, as a sign of gratitude, not just to keep this sacred space alive, but so your light may become the lighthouse for someone else still walking through the dark. Every act from you is a seed of light. Every moment you show up is a living affirmation. I have returned to myself. Thank you for trusting, for listening to your heart, for opening this doorway of connection. We will meet again with more messages, more signs, and more miracles, because your story has only just begun. May the sky embrace you, may the earth rise beneath you, and may the entire universe honor you, because you, Sagittarius, are expansion, are healing, and you are an irreplaceable note in the sacred symphony of destiny.